Good afternoon, adventurers! You know what time it is. It's 1 o'clock. It's Friday. It's John's Dungeon Corner at the Collective in Altamont Springs, Florida. Yes. We are 1 day away. Well, wait. First of all, welcome to the show. Now, we are 1 day away. That's right. Tomorrow is the Halloween party here at the Collective all day long. All kinds of cool stuff going on. So make sure you come by and say hi, wear your costumes, your kids' costumes, bring your pets with costumes. It's going to be a lot of fun, so don't miss out. And that's happening tomorrow. Okay. Then, the following Friday, don't forget we got the 33 hours of gaming. And what's good about it is there's a bunch of things going on. Fiona's going to be doing both painting during the day and airbrushing at night, a demo for airbrushing miniatures. That's going to be awesome. Don't forget to come by and check that out. We've got the Battle Royale that night, starting at 7 o'clock. The four duchies are coming to the rescue. The princess has been captured by those goblins. Always wanted something. She was wearing too much shiny. That's what it was. Too much shiny. She got abducted by the goblins. She's been taken to the Goblin Village. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Yes, it's Friday. Yes, it is. So get your groups together. Remember, John's DC 2021 at gmail.com, or come by the Collective and tell them, hey, this is the list of the people. All right, let's get those in. We only got so many seats. So make sure that you get yours. I don't want you to get left out. All right. Okay. So remember, I told you I was making a little list. Not a little list. It's got quite a few things on it, but that people have been sending me. I kind of want to gather them all up together and kind of present them all at one time and try to answer as many questions. A lot of questions about miniatures and map boards and that kind of thing. And it's funny because I just had a gentleman walk into this store and his friend is setting up his first game and he wants to get some miniatures and, the big bang for your buck kind of thing. I love it. I love it because here I am about to talk about it on the show. So let's talk about a few things. Something new that just came in. I'm going to move these guys over here for a moment. This is the Icons of the Realm, the Mighty Servant of Luco. This is so cool looking. Take a look at this. Oh, look at that. I'm knocking things over, but that's okay because I'm going to talk about them too. There he is. He's like a Titan kind of. A golem perhaps, but the cool thing is his body twists apart, so you can either put more monsters in there, or it's pilot, or it's treasure. I don't know. It lends itself to a lot of different things. I think it's very cool, very cool. So make sure you come by and check him out. Just got out, so I always tell you about the new things that are coming out. Some things have come and gone already because they only sent so many, that's the way it is sometimes. But so, okay, one of the questions I want to answer is that one about miniatures. I know I've talked about them, but if you try to go into a show and find a specific show, sometimes it's kind of hard, and I may not be talking exactly about what you want. So in answer to the question, miniatures. There's a lot of different ways of acquiring the miniatures. I know that you're talking about like in a group. Specific miniatures, and I'm going to talk about all that real quick. Okay, so one, as far as painted, unpainted, I know people have come in and seen our games, and we got all these painted miniatures, and everything looks so cool and this and that, and sometimes they'll see an unpainted miniature, and they're like, okay, wow, big difference. Okay, well, there are miniatures, and I'm not going to go through and I'm going to grab the camera. What I'm going to do is, I like this whole grabbing the camera and just bringing it to the miniatures instead of the other way around. So I'm going to grab the camera here. Okay, woo, ceiling. Okay, check this out. These are the miniatures here. These are the unpainted miniatures. All right, I got some examples. So we got a Goliath Barbarian here. We got a human wizard here, an elf wizard, and a human male cleric. As you can tell, I'm going to put it up nice and close so you can kind of see. You have two different poses for these guys. Now, these are all pre-primered. You can use them. And by the way, listen. Just because they're not painted doesn't mean that they're not usable, okay? All right? You can go ahead and use them just the way they are. Oh, I like this whole thing much, but I think this is the way I'm going to do things. It'd be cool if I could get a second camera to do that. Hey, Willie Blanco, how you doing? That's my brother from New York. All right, now the painted miniatures that I talk about a lot, are here. They usually come in single, but there's a, look at that, you can even read it. Mel Half-Orc Druid. Very well done. Next to him, we have a human bard, a female human bard. Okay. Right next to there, we got a Dragonborn warrior. Let me grab this one from the corner. And here is a Tiefling sorcerer. Very cool. Full color, pre-painted, good to go. Okay, so with that in mind, let me put you back over here. I know I'll lose you sometimes, but that's okay. Ta-da! There we go again. Back to the big table, right? Okay, so the neat thing about those are that either A, you can find a miniature in a pose and in your race, okay, with the weapons that you have, either painted or pre-painted. And okay, so they said, well, I'm finding it hard to find specific, my characters, my players want this. All right, so the answer to that is there's a bunch of booster packs that have come out, booster boxes. They contain 4 miniatures. They usually contain monsters, heroes, all kinds of different things. And I just brought a couple that I've talked about before, but they come in these nice boxes here. Okay, there's an Icons of the Realms, Tyranny of Dragons. So this is basically a lot of dragon-based. You got orc fighters. You got a wood elf druid on the cover, a half-red dragon fighter, a human code of the dragon enforcer, wraith of dragons. The thing with these is, as usual, they come with monsters. They'll come with accessories and stuff, and that's cool too. All right. You may not get. There's no guarantee what's in the box, though. That's the thing. You could get a giant ogre. You could get a were character. You could get a gnome illusionist. You could get a dwarven warrior. Okay, these are all some of the miniatures that come in them. Now, if you wanted to find something specific, I mean, the World Wide Web. I don't like to send people out there. I always think that the game stores. I've always believed that the game stores are the foundation of gaming. It's where you come and play. It's where you meet people. It's where you socialize. But sometimes you just got to have something. And if you can't find it in a store, and I'm going to tell you, there are so many miniatures out there. I don't think it's a disservice to tell you, I don't think there's any one store that can carry every single miniature all the time. And some of them are older miniatures that are just not available except out there somewhere. So as a resort, you could do that. All right. There's a lot of 3D printing going on. There's so much stuff. And if you really want to, like I've told you guys, and this is further in the future. I mean, I don't know where they're at in their gaming adventure. So I would say the entire party my entire family, the game that I run at home, every character there is a 3D printed Hero Forge character. Is that what it's called? Hero Forge character. Okay. They're personalized. They're perfect. That's the kind of thing you can only get with 3D printing. Once again, they don't do 3D printing here. There's just, let me tell you something. The gaming world is a huge one. It's like a universe in of itself. So I'm not telling you anything that's going to hurt them. I would never do that. But the Hero Forge characters, if you want to go that far and you want to pay that kind of price and you want it perfect, and they even come in full color now. Okay, so there you have it. There's that. Otherwise, I think the collective has a beautiful range. I mean, of many game stores that I've been visited, many game stores in my time. They have one of the most wonderful collections of miniatures here. And if they don't have it, they will try to get it for you. But once again, distributors, manufacturers are finicky. So sometimes they'll have something. It's here one day, gone the next. So work with them and they'll work with you. They'll do everything in their power to get it for you. And they have 2 display cases that are full of miniatures, whether they're monsters, that's where these came out of, or individual adventures, individual monsters, larger monsters, creatures, accessories. So they have a great selection. All right. So I think I talked about it that enough. Now, one of the questions that I was asked is, how can I get, and the gentleman here is looking for a group of monsters that they can put down the table. It gets expensive. It does. It's not. It's a lot less expensive than many hobbies. But if it's something that you like, it's something that you really enjoy, I think that this is probably of everything that I've seen. I think that the Epic Encounters are probably one of the best bang for your buck that you can get. Okay, I'm gonna bring this one up here. So there's the Village of the Goblin Chief. All right. I've shown you these before, but I want to reiterate them because they're wonderful. Their cost, they have a cost. They're $50 for the box, but it has 20 miniatures. It has a double-sided map. It has all the monster stats for you. And the actual size is perfect for Dungeons & Dragons. In fact, it's commensurate. You can use it with 5e. Compatible. That's the word I wanted to say. Compatible with 5e. The miniature sizes and everything. The stats are all laid out for 5e. I mean, 20 miniatures, $50. I mean, come on. You just can't beat that price. And they're very well detailed. They already, the goblins are green, which is really cool because you don't even have to paint them. I mean, you can. Okay, now these you have to primer. I've told you that before. You have to primer. But, I mean, my gosh, that's just awesome right there. Okay? Then, of course, I pulled out on the opposite of the spectrum. You know, I got the Arena of the Undead Horde. Once again, you're talking about 20 miniatures. 20 miniatures. And they're all, the sculpts are amazing that they have in there. Great for size, compatible with 5e. You really, it's just amazing, all right? And I love them. I've got, I think between Antonio and I, we have every set. And what set that he doesn't have, I have. And the set he doesn't have, I don't have, he has. So those are really amazing. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, Brendan's right there. We just got a UPS delivery with more stuff, you know. Oh, yeah, don't you know it? Always new stuff coming in. The holidays are here. It's time for those gift certificates. In fact, it was Antonio's birthday this last Wednesday. And, you know, we didn't have a game. Someone else ran the game for us, and they did a great job. But you know what was awesome? We opened up all his gifts, and pretty much his entire birthday came from the collective. It was so easy. And for those who weren't sure, he got gift certificates. So I'm telling you, if you're not sure what to get someone, and they have any kind of, they like comic books, they like board games, they like miniatures, whatever it is they like, get them a gift certificate from the collective. It's a great gift. They can come here at their leisure and see what the collective's got to offer them. And hey, it's just a great gift. It's a thoughtful gift. And that way you don't have to worry about buying them something that either A, they already have, or they really didn't want. All right. So there we go. That's that about that. So now let's go a step further. There is a new, it's not new, it's been out for a little bit, but the Dungeons & Dragons frameworks are really cool. This is the Orc multi-pack. Okay, we talked about this before, but and as you can see, there's a theme going here where people have been asking me about this and that and customizing and painting, pre-painted, this, that, characters, monsters. So another set that's really nice. Now this has 7 miniatures in it. It's a framework set that, and I showed these to you, but I wanted them to see it. This one, this set is the Orc set, and you can tell that it has 7. It only shows 5, but there's 7 miniatures that you can build out of here, and you can customize them. You can put them with spear, swords, bows, caster. It's just amazing. Okay, it contains enough to put 7 Orc miniatures, and the varieties are unbelievable. So with a couple of these, you can build 14 Orcs that are just all customized. If you want like that customized Orc that you just got to have a certain way, this would definitely be the way. So we've gone from the basic to the more advanced to the really advanced. And we got sets that do both. Okay, we have 20 miniatures. They're awesome. They're different scopes within the box. So you get a few archers. You'll get some one of the Orc ones that I love. My favorite, I think, in this set is the Orc one because the archers are riding polar bears of all things. So I love it. So if you're doing the Rift World, the Rift, the Edge of the World, or whatever it is in Forgotten Realms, that would just be like amazing. An Orc tribe from the Northern Wastelands. Oh yeah, complete with polar bears. Can't beat the polar bears. All right. So now we're going to kind of jump away from the miniatures. I put this in an order. Hopefully it'll make sense as I'm talking about it and move on to the maps. Now you've seen all the different map boards. And one of the questions I said, well, I really don't have, you know, the funds to go out and purchase a bunch of map boards. And I really don't like drawing on making terrain. You know, and I get it because drawing trees and bridges and all that kind of stuff is kind of hard. But the solution is something that I've talked about also previously, but I'm going to bring up because you know something, sometimes people may not see things the first time or forget or get caught up in something else because I talk about a lot of things. But these two map books, I'm going to tell you what, this has 58 pages of battle maps, okay, for tabletop gaming. Now, here it is. Those are the different maps. There are so many of them. There's beaches, and this is just like terrain, and there's indoor, outdoor areas, some of the lava, a river, a lake, a bridge. These are all the different things all wrapped up in a book. And the way it works is you just open it up. You open up the book. I've shown you the open book, but you open it up and it opens up into a nice, what is this? I want to give you kind of like an idea how big this is. Doggone it. Well, it's probably like, I'm going to think that this is like probably a 16 a foot. Yeah, a 12 by 24 area that once it opens up. So that's a really nice size, okay? It doesn't really tell me how big it is, but that's what I'm going to guess, all right? I know I've used it. Antonio uses it on Wednesdays, and we're able to fit monsters and 14, 13, 12 characters on here. So that's how big that is. Now, if you want to get a little bigger, this is the giant book of battle maps, and there's actually a volume 1 and 2. I'm holding volume 2 in my hands because this helps out a little bit better with what we were talking about. What the question was is that they wanted different terrains, but they didn't want to have, you'd have to get like 10 of the map boards to kind of come up with the equivalent of this. Here you got 62 of them. So you've got 2, 4, 6. So we've got 31 different layouts that we can put down. Okay. We have a ship in the ocean. We've got paths. We've got a ruined something along the river. We've got playing mats. We've got cut down trees. We've got some indoor settings. So it's very versatile, extremely versatile. And I'll tell you what, these guys do a great job. I want to say that the map boards can do wet or dry erase. It says it right here. I'm not telling you anything, and they're very nice. We've actually, since Antonio has one and I have one, we've put them side by side. So you can build with two of these, you can build an area. Can you imagine this one? I'm sure it says it on here somewhere. I just can't see it. I don't have my glasses. But I'd say there's at least 18. There's about 12. There's probably a 12 by 18. So you got 18. You open it up. You got an 18 by 24. You got a huge, put two of them side by side, and you can cover up a table, okay, with just two mat boards. And you can intermix things, go from a outdoor scene to a castle scene to an indoor innkeep. So that's really cool there. So that's what I suggest. That's what I'm going to throw out there for you. If you want to be able to change, you want to keep your expense down a little bit, those two books there are either or by itself, depending on how big your party is and how big, elaborate you want to make your adventure that day. Those are wonderful. And there's actually, I think there is another one of these. There's a book one, and I believe they came out with a second one of these, of the smaller books. So you've got some variety. Okay. So as you talk, I talked about miniatures, the basic, all the way up to the more complex where you can actually build them and customize them, kind of like the map boards now. So fancy they are. Hey, welcome to the show, Donna. Now, so I had a question, and there's a lot of things out there. I mean, I got a wonderful gift from Antonio and Sarah that is a world building program that I have access to, which is really neat. But that's on a different scale, okay? If you want to go there, they're out there. I'm not going to mention its name because that's not what I'm here to do. But what I will say to you is a simple notebook is awesome. Happy to see you. Hey, don't forget, we got a game this coming Wednesday. But so this is a book of holding. This is really neat. So it's a nice foil cover. It's black. It opens up, and it's simple. It's graph paper, and I like it. I'll tell you why I like. Oh, it's got the core. Of course, everything with art I like. It's got a nice dragon in there. But I'll tell you what's cool about this. You can sit down and you can write on it because graph paper is just paper. It's just lined differently. Okay, you can make notes. You can detail adventures as they come to you. But the cool thing is, let's say you come up with an idea. Oh man, I want to build this room that's connected to this trapped hallway, and then here's this layer. So with the graph paper, it's all right there. You go, okay, well, I'm gonna make this 30 by 40, and you can draw the room, and then you can make the notes around it. You know, you write the notes right around it. So this is a really neat. I like it, and it looks cool. You know, let's make a nice gift for somebody who's thinking of starting a campaign, their own campaign, or trying to build their own world. Then the Dungeons and Dragons came out with this really neat, the World Builders Journal of Legendary Adventures. Now, let me see if I can read this, right? Okay, so this page, I just got to open up. You have made a pact with a secret society that no one, not even your closest friends, know about. What is the goal of that society, and who else is in it? So it's kind of like it gives you a little prompt. And it has a little date there, and you can put a label, name it up here, and it kind of makes some notes about it on this page. Just notes. It is just kind of jot down your ideas. Okay. Let's go back up in here and go. Let me read a smaller one. Your mentor gave you a small token to remember the most important lesson they taught you. What is this trinket, and what is the story behind it? So this is something, and here's the neat thing. So you take this and you give it to a character and say, okay, they have problems building their character. This, that. Maybe they're a mage and they had a mentor. Okay, so cool. So you put that down, or it gives you an idea of how to write something to help them also. So the World Builders Journal is really neat. It has a lot of prompts in here, okay? A lot of. I have this also. It's an awesome tool. And, you know, I love backgrounds for characters because I can use them in the game. When I have only a few characters that day, maybe, you know, I only have 4 or 5, so I send them off on a little quest of their own, maybe to further someone else's background plot. You can never, ever overestimate the importance of backgrounds in your game. And this is for the World Builder. I've always believed in it. There's a session I talked about campaign building that, and I may have to do something a little more in depth because I know the biggest thing about any of this, okay, I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun. Have fun with it. Don't let it not become fun. All right? And don't let anybody else ruin your fun. I've said that before too, but what I'm going to get at is step by step. That's actually a song, but take it one step at a time. Let me rephrase it so it's no longer a song. Take it one step at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself, especially when you're building a character for a campaign is different than building the campaign. It's miles apart. And it doesn't matter which end of the spectrum you begin with. That's why I didn't bring one out here, but you guys know all about the Starting Adventures that came out. I love those books. There's 2 of them plus the second book that has the second box set. Well, it's actually the second box that came out, but I call them the hinge because both you got 2 starters and then the intermediate, the essentials box. And I love the 3 of them together. So either of those boxes, it's $20. It gives you everything you need to literally start running the game. Okay? Pre-made characters, dice, the rule book, how to create characters, everything, the adventure, everything you need is right there. And I think even if you want to, if you have this plan of, I want to make my own campaign, it's nice to see the foundation of what they do. And then you have something to build off of rather than just opening up the Dungeon Master's Guide and start building, which you can do. I'm not telling you, but it'll make your process, your construction, your creative process a little easier if you have something. Also, if you're a first-time game master, it's nice to do that because then you get the mechanics down. And I will tell you, this is all great and a lot of fun, but at least the mechanics, the initiative. What is the initiative about? You know, how do I use my skills? What's the order of combat? How are things done? What am I allowed to do? How many times am I allowed to do it? You know, if not, the game will get out of control. I mean, you can do it. You know, Gary Gygax said it's all a bunch of guidelines, but you don't want characters casting 5 spells in one turn. That'll really imbalance the game. So that I'm just kind of saying there are some guidelines that you need to learn, and I call them mechanics. They're just the mechanics of the game, and they're nice to know before you start creating. And, you know, your first level characters run into a ancient red dragon. Anyway, but yes, that could happen. Let me tell you. But we have a lot of fun with this game, and I hope you do too. I'm hoping that I answered all the questions that I had brought with me. I think I have. So there's one other thing that I did want to talk to you about, or kind of remind you about. Wednesday nights, we have our Dungeons and Dragons games here. We're still looking for Game Masters DMs to come in and either run games for drop-ins, people who just show up and would like to try the game, or if you just want to run your game here, that's great too. If you have a campaign that you want to run here, that's one. Two, this coming Saturday, being tomorrow, is the Halloween event, costume contest. It runs all day from 10 to 3. I say all day, but it's 10 to 3. Okay, there's a food truck going to be out here, some live music, some creator signings, and free Halloween books. Adults, kids, pets, you're all invited. The following Saturday is the 33 hours of gaming. Starts as soon as the store opens, doesn't end till 6 o'clock. That's Sunday. We have a lot of events going on. There's Magic the Gathering in the morning. I know Fiona's doing a paint session in the middle of that, I think from 10 to 2 or 11 to 3, something like that. There's other games going on, board games, role-playing games, strategy games, card games. At 7 o'clock, the Dungeons and Dragons Battle Royale happens. We got 4 duchies that are vying for the princess's, the king's favor by helping rescue the princess that has been abducted by the goblins. So that's all I'm going to tell you. John's DC 2021 at gmail.com will get you signed up for the event and guarantee you a seat. Or you can come by the collective or either email, in person, phone call, whatever it takes to get you signed up. Okay, there's only 24 seats, and that sounds like a lot. But the last time we did this impromptu, we had 18 players. Okay, so that only left 36 seats, and I know quite a few of the seats are already filled. So make sure that you get signed up for it. So here's something I always tell you. I'm going to reiterate it. It's what I really want to get to. There are a lot of things available. Sign you up. All right, Donna. Send me. I'm going to take that. I'm going to tell them that you're signed up. But hey, take a second. Go to John's, JOHNS, DC 2021 at gmail.com and just send me an email saying, hey, I'm playing this character. Remember, it's a 3rd level character that you have to create for it. 3rd level. Say what? Just give me an idea of what you're going to play. That way, if there's a group looking for a particular song, if there's a particular group you want to play with, we'll get you hooked up. All right, that's important. But I got you. So like I was saying, there's a lot of things from dice to miniatures to this to that, the books, the starter boxes. But the most important part about Dungeons and Dragons is that it brings people together. You can play it by yourself. Obviously, you can. And it has been done. But the thing behind this is that it gives you a way to interact with other people, whether through your characters or at the table or both. Okay? It's a lot of fun. And that's the important part, is keep it fun. There's nothing to win. You're not losing anything. A character dies, so what? You create another one. And there's so many ways of reviving the character that it's kind of crazy. All right? So arguments about the rules, their guidelines. Just remember, respect your game master and DM, because they've put a lot of heartache, heart, and hard work into whatever it is they're running, whether it's a box module. They've taken the time to share this moment with you, just as you've taken the time out of your life to share that moment with them. So make it fun, be respectful, have a good time. And like I've always said, if it's not for you, then either find another group or find something else to do, but try not to be rude. Try not to be insulting to them. Hey, William St. Quinn, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. We're just kind of winding down like a roller coaster. It's on its final downhill. We've been talking about, I had a list of questions that I'm going over, from miniatures all the way up to world building and multi-miniatures and box sets and all kinds of crazy things. So I was just kind of throwing some stuff out. Good, I'm glad you're good. It's probably a little, is it chilly? Is it chilly yet, or is it still kind of like lukewarm? But yeah, so and like I was saying, just have fun. That's half of it. Now, don't forget, Christmas is coming up. My last reminder, not last because I'm gonna be on it, but for today, my last reminder. Remember, Christmas is coming up. There's a ton from comic books, which William is a great creator. Not today. We're 60 degrees. Oh, that's not bad. 60 degrees is great football weather and running around weather, you know. Now it feels like 50. That might be a little chilly. 50 is chilly. But 60 is doable. 60 degrees today. Not bad. We're at like 79, 80. We're around somewhere around up there, you know. We don't get really cold. Not till later on. But yeah, so Christmas is coming up. Talking about cold. Christmas is coming up. Holidays are here. Gift certificates from the collective make wonderful, wonderful last minute additions. Or just come in if you know they like a certain comic book, or you know the staff here is very knowledgeable in everything they have here, whether it's Magic or Warhammer or Dungeons and Dragons or BattleTech or Marvel, DC, Independence. You know, just come on by, ask questions. Everybody's always here to help, and they're happy to. You know, it's not just because it's their job. They actually enjoy what they do. That's why they're here. Brenda's done a really good job about that, hiring a staff that, you know, it's not just a job. It's that they enjoy being around people in their genres, and it will help people even if they don't know. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's hard to know about every comic book, every game, every board game, every Magic card, every card game. You know, yes, lots of love for the collective, absolutely. You know, so it's hard for one person to know all that. But the neat thing is, they know where to point you. And if they don't know, they'll find a way to get you your answer. Okay. They may have to call you back, or, you know, they may have to call somebody, but that's the wonderful thing, is they will try to help you and find you the correct answer. All right. So with all that being said, like I always say, I always appreciate everybody who comes on the show to watch and participate, because you're spending time with me, and time is the one thing you never get back. So I appreciate all of you who watch this even later on. You know, sometimes I don't say anything about that, but I really appreciate those at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. A lot of people are at work. Some of you take time out from your day to jump on for a few minutes and kind of say, hey, how you doing? And just kind of hear me rant and rave about whatever it is I'm talking about that day. But those of you who watch afterwards, I really appreciate you guys. And know that much love to you also for taking the time to watch this. That's why I try to keep it between 30 and 40 minutes, so I don't take up too much of your time. I kind of threw out everything that I wanted to talk about. It's always fun answering the questions that I get, or talk about new items that came in. So may the road rise up to meet your feet, and may all your adventures always be successful. Thank you, all of you fellow adventurers who have come out to share today's journey with me. And until next time, I will see you at John's Dungeon Corner.